the last session, our last live session with Ron was a bit longer, but we try to answer as many questions as possible and want to give as much value as we possibly can. For those who are new here, hello, I'm Angela Lewis with SpeakerHUB, and we are incredibly excited about the session today with Les Brown. Ron is going to do a short recap for the new people here who weren't here at the last session. So if you would like, please put your name, tell us a little bit about your business and where you are located in the chat. I know a lot of people, there are a number of people here who were on the last call, but for those who aren't, we would love for you to connect. There are still people in the waiting room, so we're going to let them in as we get started with this session. Houston, Plano. We have Raphael has technical issues from California. Again, Atlanta. How's the summit been going so far for everyone? Have you all caught other sessions? Are there other sessions that you've enjoyed? If so, will you share what other sessions you've listened to? And you can unmute and share.
It's been great. I have enjoyed all of the sessions. I'm going to do the replay. And I haven't done the evenings so late. And tonight I have meetings, but I have really have gotten really so much out of this. And so as a founding member, I'm going to come back, and I know I have been slothful and a lot of things happen. I went to television and I was a television producer. And so I'm coming back with just a zest now. It's been very encouraging and inspirational.
Thank you,
Only
Dr.
out of
Fitzgerald.
Atlanta. It's been informative and useful, and that's something that I really wanted to get out of a conference. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Donley.
I would say the information has been extremely powerful. There's a lot of nuggets, tidbits from every conference speaker that I've attended so far. I've gotten at least, 5 to 10 little nuggets that I need to either utilize, reframe, or change about the way I'm going about this. And I think it's going to make me a force, man. I can't wait to put this stuff in action.
Thank you, Rodney. We are here to help and support. So if you signed up for SpeakerHUB and you need support, let us know. We want to see you all win and want to help you get acclimated to the platform and be able to send those pitches.
So one of the things I want to hop on and say is, if you haven't checked out the Hidden Gems segment by Seyron, Seyron has a very powerful story. And Seyron is one of you guys. Seyron was a SpeakerHUB user. We reached out to her. She says, "Hey, I got a full-time job, but I'm making this transition. I really believe in my message. I really believe I can help women around the world that are immigrant women that are coming into the United States. They need to hear what I have to say." And my message to her was, if you really believe that, start sending the pitches. And in her first 30 days, she sent 2,000 pitches, right? And I think she did almost 30 podcasts in the first month, right? And then those podcasts turned into speaking gigs. So I would love to have Seyron go watch her session, because the hidden gem thing, I don't think people really knew what we meant by that. That session is incredible because it's so honest and it's so like simple. She's not talking all, you got to do this magic thing. She said, look, the world needs to hear what you have to talk about. So, Seyran, I see you're in the room here. If you would like to hop on and just talk about your experience with using the flywheel, I would love to have you come on. I don't know. I see her photo there. She may not be live, but I want to give her a lot of credit because she did the work and it's paying off. And here's the funny thing. Seyran and I met like 6 times, and she's an engineer by trade, and she argued with me every question about SpeakerHUB. What if it don't do this? And what if it don't do that? I said, we will never know if you never send the pictures. And she says, okay. Okay, but let me stop. I'll let Seyran tell her own story, but that's my perspective on Seyran. And she did a great session for you guys about finding your own voice and hidden gem.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron, for the introduction. And I'm honored to be here among all those wonderful people, powerful people, who yet they are doing a great job to get even better and better. We all have the best version of ourselves. We just haven't been tapped on, or we haven't discovered yet. I call it core genius or hidden gem because each one of us have something inside that buried for a while because of the age, doing work, raising children, doing a 9-to-5 job. But it's not late to discover that hidden gem and just bring it to the service and monetize it and share it with the universe. I can reach out on LinkedIn or my Instagram. Just mentioning Ron's name, I can give you the 1-hour complimentary session, which I charge money. But just saying you are coming from the SpeakerHUB platform and Ron recommend you to me, I can give you the complimentary free of charge. All of you, if you have a job or if you are in a different niche or niche, with both right. If you think that this is not the right niche for you, it's not too late. There is a discovery journey. We can do it together in 1 month, and you're going to celebrate hard at the end. This is why I put 28 days, because the last 2 days of the month is going to be celebration from you. Finally said, wow, this is my hidden gem. And you will also be excited about my business card, which is actually a gem, which I can just show it to you. So this is my this is my business card. So it's a 2N gem. It's a crystal, has my name on it. So when I do like actually print my name and I give it to the audience and I tell them just connect with me in LinkedIn and Instagram. After that, peel my name, throw it. Don't worry about my ego. I already have self-confidence. Don't worry about it. Just put this beside your computer. Every time you look at this sparkly gem, there is 0.001% you're going to throw it in the trash. But there is a 99% you throw the business card, which we toast them all the time. Just look at it and think about it. I'm an IT guy. I'm in finance. I'm a doctor. I'm an engineer. But what else I have inside me that can bring to the service? Thank you very much for having me on.
Seyran, tell us a little bit about your background, because you're SpeakerHUB is international, and you have an interesting background. So I want to kind of cover that for those that don't know. That Seyran's a fighter, man. She's a winner, and I love that spirit that she has.
Yes, thank you, Rod. So being in tech for 35 years, that's telling you I'm old. I'm in my mid-50s. So I've been doing engineering for so many years. Yes, Thrive, Scale in Engineering. I did my master. I started my doctoral in engineering. Never finished it because I fell in love with mentoring and coaching. My background it's similar to all of you. We've done things which we thought that's the end and that's what we should do for the rest of our life. But when the enlightenment come and I start asking my questions, say, okay, I'm an engineer. I established a good career. My LinkedIn looked perfect. Is that it? Is that all what I need to do? No. We all have so much to offer. We all have other things to leave an impact and make a change in this world. And I'm sure Mr. Les Brown will talk about that and how we all can contribute in making this world a better place to live. My goal is to go international and global because I speak Arabic fluent and I speak also Kurdish. I'm originally Kurdish from north of Iraq, but I would love to have like speaking gigs international. And when Ron, as he said, I question him a million questions. I'm the engineer. Everything have to be precise and concise. For a minute, I thought he's going to just call it a day and quit the job because I annoy him with the question. But he was very calm, very professional. And I felt something with Ron's story is like he's not Sally. Like he's not trying to sell you something ever. He explained the platform to you. He answered all your questions, and he has this warmth, like willing to help you just to succeed. And when I asked him, I said, "What do you want me to do?" He said, "Just simple pitch, start pitching." I said, "But," he said, "Just start. I'm telling you, trust me on this." Well, he told me to start pitching, but I start pitching like there is no tomorrow. I don't know, over 2,000. I don't know how many pitch I did. And not just I got the podcast and the speaking gig. It's not that. I step out of the IQ mentality that I have for 35 years, and I met it with the emotional intelligence. I bring that communication skills back to me, all that core genius and hidden gem I have when I was a teenager in my 20s, but I bury it because I start a family, I did engineering. Ron helped me to bring that core genius for myself back by start speaking and communicating with others. So I really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Saran. This means a lot. A lot of people here I've known for years. We've grown together. They've grown with us with SpeakerHUB. And a lot of you all are new. Welcome to the family. Our company is built around family members. I think 30% of our employees got a family member that work with us because we want to hire people that are very, very much alike. So welcome to our family. We're glad to have you as a part of it. You're stuck with us. We're not letting you go. We're going to keep pushing you. And I want to make sure that you leave here with something impactful. And when we were thinking about putting on the summit, I thought about everybody that I could invite. And I happened to be on a call with Mr. Brown, and he said, "You doing a summit? Why you didn't invite me?" And I'm like, you really want to do my little summit? He was like, "Ron, I got you." He's like, "How much time?" I'm like, "How much you want? Like, you want to come talk for 3 days? We will have a whole 3-day thing and just let you talk for 12 hours for 3 days." And he says, "Give me 2 hours and I'm going to change these people's lives." And I said, I trust you because he's changed mine. I remember my first Les Brown book that I bought 20 years ago. I remember I didn't even know I never heard him speak. I just bought the book because I liked it at Barnes and Nobles, right? And since then, I've heard him speak at different places, talk about different things. And I was at an NSA conference, and someone said, "You want to meet Les?" Like, yes. How about let's do it, right? So we ended up spending 3 days together just talking about how we could better help speakers together. And I'm honored that he would choose to come on and share with you guys today because he has 54 years on stage, if I remember correctly. And he's still doing it because he said something that I believe. There's no success without successors. And that stuck with me. And I'm glad that he was willing to pour into me, believing that I could be one of his successors to magnify the good in the world. So he joined the room here. I don't know if he's where he is, but if he would like to come on.
I'm hungry to get started.
Oh, there we go.
I'm here.
We good. We good. We got on our matching Tiger Woods shirts. We are red hot and ready to go for you guys. So I'm going to put it in speaker view so that so if you don't know how to do that, in the corner of your Zoom, there's a view. If you switch it to speaker view, it should bring him up to the middle. And we're just going to let him take it away and blow your minds and make sure that you're hungry when you're done with this. So.
Oh, okay. Listen, one of the things I'd like to do, first of all, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to do this and for the work that you're doing, because when you think about it, at this point in time in history, we're going through a major disruption, major, and things are going to be very intense between now and November the 5th, Election Day. But even before that, all of the toxic, negative, mean-spirited name calling, all of the things that's been going on politically and religiously, it has a trickle-down impact on the masses. Everything that we see that's going on right now, it was generated out of a story. Nothing happens until a story is told that impact the collective consciousness of the masses. So you're starting SpeakerHUB and giving the opportunity for ordinary people to create a movement that will empower them to do extraordinary things with their knowledge, with their wisdom, with their experiences, and their hunger to want to leave the world in better shape than how they found it. The generational thinking. There's two things that I think is very important in life and how I live. And I want you to write this down. Live your life the way you want to leave your life. Live your life the way you want to leave your life. I told my children, if they told you that I died, don't let them embalm me for 3 days and come to the morgue and sneak a microphone in my hand. If I don't grab it and say, you got to be hungry, call your brothers and sisters and say, Daddy's gone. He's out of here. I'm going to, I talk in my sleep, so I'm going to speak my way out of here. So live your life the way that you want to live your life. When I have given seminars for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, IBM, Xerox, and many others. When I started, no one would have given me a chance of ever doing what I've done. I was born in an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother, Wesley. We were in foster care, and then ultimately we were adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown. And I said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. And that God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. When I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as DT, the dumb twin. I was labeled educable mentally retarded. I was put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failed again in the 8th grade. And I used to be punished because I talked too much. And now I get paid to speak. Come on. You can't make this stuff up. And so, but I met a mentor. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I want you to write this down. Life be lifing. I was in Columbus, Ohio last week. My mentor, Mike Williams, I wrote the foreword to his book, The Road to Your Best Stuff. I was here last week. His oldest sister passed. I sat in the funeral with Mike, his family, and his mother, who, Mrs. Williams, she's 103. She passed 4 days ago. So in less than a week and a half, Mike lost his oldest sister and his mother. I'll be speaking at her funeral. She was a witty person. At her daughter's funeral, she said, Mr. Brown, I'm so glad to see you. She said, I went to the dentist 2 weeks ago. And after he serviced me, he told me, I'm not going to charge you anything. He said, from now on, all of your meetings with me and your dental work will be on me. You don't have to pay me nothing. And she said, I don't mean to be ungrateful, but I'm 103 years old. She said, I wish you had told me that years ago. Oh, my goodness. So now Mrs. Williams is in heaven with my mother. And Mama's baked her a sweet potato pie, and the angels are mad because they ain't gonna get none. No. So I'm back here to celebrate her life on this Friday with my mentor, Mike Williams, who saw this Les Brown before I saw him. And it's odd. Here I am in Columbus, Ohio. And just to think, 56 years ago, I came here. as a disc jockey. Look out, this is me, LB Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There will be none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single, love to mingle. Certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction, a whole lot of action. Look out, baby. I'm your love man. I can't believe I came here 56 years ago. I used to think people in their 40s were old. Now that I am 80, oh my goodness, I think I served at the Lord's Supper, but I got some good tips. So I want to share with you, I want this to be interactive. I want you to write this down. Because now I believe everything happens for a reason. And that you and I, we were born and preserved for such a time as this. That story that you have, there are millions of people, over 325 million people, whose lives will be interrupted by artificial intelligence, who need your story of how you got across the Red Seas in your life, how you handled a divorce or being laid off on a job or going through foreclosure or face some devastation, some illness. The people who need to hear a story. I want you to write this down. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. Ron Story Jr. I can't believe this. SpeakerHUB. Listen, this gentleman that I met, he was a speech and drama teacher. He changed my life. There are people whose lives you're going to change. And at this time, I was looking for a friend of mine named MacArthur Stevens in his class. And he said, young man, go to the front of the room and work this problem out for me. And I said, I can't, sir. He said, why not? I said, I'm not one of your students. I'm just here looking for MacArthur Stevens. Is he here? He said, do what I'm asking you to do anyhow. I said, I can't, sir. And he said, why not? And the other students started laughing, saying, he's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT. And he asked, what's DT? He's the dumb twin. And they started laughing. And he looked at me for my response. And I said, I am, sir. And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me, as Ron would, and say, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Do you hear me? I said, yes, sir. Mama used to say, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Words can. But when he said that, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I want you to write this down. Distract, dispute, and inspire. When you speak to an audience, individually and collectively, what you do is distract them from their current story, the narrative, the self-explanatory style that keep them where they are, that the download that they receive from life between 0 and 7, the conversations they heard, the environment where they were raised, the people around them, their community, influence your vision of yourself. Martin Seligman in a book called Learned Optimism. And we have to relearn how to begin to step outside of our history and begin to live out of our imagination. Einstein said the imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Scripture says, I'll give you all your eyes can see. As a storyteller, we help people to step away from their history, from their current life, and to live in their imagination of what they see for themselves in the future because of the thoughts that you are able to cultivate and the experience that you're able to orchestrate with them and take them on a journey. You distract them from how they see themselves and the belief systems they have about themselves. You dismantle their current belief system and you empower them to have the courage. Maya Angelou said, and I spent a whole day with her, she said, Nothing is done without courage. You inspire them to have the courage to turn the page and become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in their lives. Yeah. Steve Jobs said the storytellers are the most powerful people on the planet. And that's real. Storytellers create cultures. And my goal is, in partnering up with Ron and SpeakerHUB, is to influence storytellers that will promote four things, four pillars of greatness. I want you to write this down. Peace. He said, I'll keep thee in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. There are a lot of people, 46% of people who go to sleep at night can't get a good night's sleep. Harmony. Oh, we need that. That right now there's a level of divisiveness and anger and hatred and people being on alert, on edge. What happened to the times where you can disagree and yet still be agreeable? It's a different time. People fighting over parking spots, road rage. Kids are going on drills in school, not fire drills, but in the event of shooters in the building. It's a different kind, different time, different space, peace, harmony, joy. Life be lifing. Joy that passeth all human understanding. How to begin to live your life from the inside out. One speaker said life, about this thing called life. He said things may happen around you and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you. That's what you control. And love. God is love, and he who dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in them. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing there's so little of, or you can't handle the voice. I know you thought if you close your eyes it was John Legend or Johnny Mathis. No, it's Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy and Ron Story Jr.'s pride and joy. Yeah. Yes. Peace. We need peace. Harmony. Yes. Joy and love. And as storytellers, we have the ability to do that with your words, with how you craft your story. And write this down. How you speak, so people don't just hear you, but they feel you. That's different. It's different when they just hear you, but when they feel you in their heart. I want you to write this down. Speak with your heart voice. I remember, Leslie, what are you busy doing? I'm working on something, Mama. What? Mama, when I become a man, I'm going to buy you a home. I'm going to take care of you. Oh, come on, Leslie, you don't have to do that. Mama, you didn't have to take us out of foster care. You didn't have to adopt us, but you did. I promise you, when I get older, I'm going to take care of you. I shine shoes. I used to work selling used television sets door to door. Oh my God. I mean, I had 3 to 4 different jobs as a kid, saving my money that one day I'm going to buy my mother a home. And ultimately I did that and took care of her. I want you to write this down. Prepare for the unexpected. My sister called me. I just got elected for the 3rd time to the higher legislature here in Columbus, Ohio. Passed 14 bills my first term. She said, Leslie, are you sitting down? I asked her, what's wrong with Mama? She said, Mama has breast cancer and she can't live alone anymore. We're going to put her in a nursing home. I said, don't do that, Leslie. I said, listen to me. I'm coming home. I'll take care of her. Listen, Leslie, that would be too expensive to be a caregiver. Listen to me. See, I couldn't understand. How could one single woman raise 7 children by herself, but 7 grown people can't take care of one woman? I didn't know how I was going to do it. I resigned from the Ohio legislature, and I had to ask myself, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to speak like many of you. And I didn't do it for 14 years. I could have been doing it in Columbus. But sometimes life will push you. Marion White said, in life, when you don't have enough courage or insight to do what's in your heart, life will move on you. Life moved on me. I had to figure out, how could I find a way to take care of my mother and be available to her? I don't have a college education. How can I do that? And I went to a motivational event where a guy was speaking. Bob Proctor had brought this guy in. And as he was speaking, and mind you, I'd been going to events with Bob Proctor and Jim Rohn and different other speakers. And my heart said, I could do that. I want you to write this down. When there's an argument between your mind and your heart, follow your heart. Follow your heart. When I was go toward my car in the parking lot, my mind would kick in and override my heart that said, you can do that. And said, Les Brown, you don't have a college education. How can you compete with people with PhDs and MBAs and years of corporate experience that you don't have? You were labeled educable mentally retarded. How can you develop the credibility with no corporate experience and no credentials, no letters behind your name? And AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM, Xerox, Novartis Pharmaceutical, that they would hire you. You ever thought about something you want to do, you felt it in your heart, and then you talk yourself out of it? There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. 14 years, I convinced myself that I couldn't do what I've been doing now for 53 years. And this guy was speaking, and you ever heard of a message you felt, that's for me. He's talking to me. She's got my number. This guy stopped in the middle of his speech. He said, there's somebody here who should be up on this stage, holding this microphone, speaking to you, but you've convinced yourself that you're not qualified, that you can't do it. And he said, I want to say to you, as he looked over the audience, whoever you are enough. And then he went on to speak for another 30 minutes and he stopped. He said, look, I don't know who you are. Looking over the audience again, I'm asking myself, if this guy looking for me, I'm sitting behind a guy, hoping he can't see me. He said, I don't know who you are, where you are. He said, I'm standing in your dream. He said, I enjoy doing this. I like the money that I make. He said, but you love to help people, have a heart for people. And this is your calling. And he said, the reason I'm standing up here and you're seated out there, handicapped by your fear, I'm standing in your dream. I represent the thoughts you have rejected for yourself. Oh my God. I jumped up. I went outside to a telephone booth. Many of you don't even know what a telephone booth is. It's what Superman used to go in to change clothes. And you can make a phone call for a dime. I put the dime in the telephone booth and I called my mentor, Mike Williams. I said, Mike. He said, Brownie, what's going on? I said, I'm not rejecting myself anymore. He said, Brownie, calm down. I said, no, hell no, I'm not rejecting myself anymore. My mother has breast cancer. I promised her she would not go into nursing home. My brothers and sisters won't help me, but I'm going to do it, Mike. I got a story. I can talk, Mike. I got a story. You've been telling me that I can speak it. I didn't believe you, but I believe you now. See, sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. And I said, I need help, Mike. I need you to help me. He said, I will, Brownie. Write this down. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help and don't stop until you get it. Many people are now failing because they don't know that they don't know and they think they know. And because of pride, pride cometh before a fall, because of ego, ego edging God out, they won't ask for help. Mike, he came, he felt that he heard an urgency in my voice, a seriousness in my voice. Yeah, sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. And he came. I encourage you, get his book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, The Road to Your Best Stuff 2.0. I wrote the forward for it. And he trained me. I admired him. I admired how he spoke. I admired what I felt when he spoke, his confidence, his words, his stories, and how he had the audience on the edge of their seats. I said, I want to be able to command an audience like that. And I remember when he was training me, I said, Mike, I'd love to be as good as you. He said, you're going to be better than me. I said, I'll never be as good as you, Mike. No. He said, yes, you will. I said, but you went to Ohio State University. I don't have any college. They said, Brownie, don't worry about what you don't have. Focus on what you have. You care about people, man. You got a heart. And having said that, a lot of people are intimidated by artificial intelligence. It's a scraper. He gets information that's out there. But you, see, I came up during the time of Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye. They had a song called Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, Baby. Come on, you are the real thing. Artificial intelligence don't have a heart. You are irreplaceable. You have a heart. Yeah. There are things that you can do that artificial intelligence will never be able to do. How to look at an audience and read an audience, how to listen to the listening, how to speak to the audiences inside of each audience. People are separated by education, by their age, by their income, by their gender, and how to unify them. Artificial intelligence will never be able to do that because it doesn't have your heart. You're an irreplaceable miracle. You are a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, behave. Okay, okay. And so I didn't take my medication today. Okay, so write this down. Create an experience with your story. Don't just tell the story. A lot of people are just telling their story. They got some stuff they want to get off their chest. Listen, people listen to your story. 80% don't care about you, and 20% glad it's you and not them. Your story, when you are delivering a message, your story is not for you. Your story is not for you to get on stage and have some catharsis or some therapy. No, no. Your story is to be used strategically to take and write this down, take the audience to a place in themselves that they can't go by themselves. That's what your mission is, to create that experience. Oliver Wendell Holmes said that once a man or woman's mind has been expanded with an idea, concept, or experience, it can never be satisfied to going back to where it was. There are people that when you speak, that you're going to ignite something in them to turn the page and start a new chapter. There are people, when you speak, you're going to ignite the greatness in them to turn the channel and start rebuilding their lives. There are people, when you speak, who are in a dark place, but when you speak, they will see the light. When you speak, and they're on the brink of taking a permanent solution for a temporary situation, you're going to save their lives. You will teach them in your message that life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. If you think about taking your life, you're spitting in the face of God. When you speak, you're going to help a person who's been slapped around and knocked down by life, and they will remember the words of Willie Jolly that a setback is a setup for a comeback, that you've got comeback power. Or they will remember my words: when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. When you speak, you're going to fire them up. When you speak, you're going to ignite the greatness in them. When you speak, you will motivate them to know that always strive to get on top in life, because the bottom is overcrowded. Yeah. They know that you are part of the SpeakerHUB. They know that you speak life in a moment of people who have given up on their dreams. Yeah. That's the power you have. Being in a community, write this down. Being in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. That's what SpeakerHUB does. Ron is a visionary. Harvard University did an 85-year study, and the study was the people, the 1% that become successful, that control the wealth. What is it they have in common? And they found they had a reference group. Being in a community of people going in the same direction that they're going in. Iron sharpening iron, people learning from each other, growing together, holding each other to a higher standard. Yeah. The Academy Award winner Sidney Poitier said, when you go for a walk with someone, something happens without being spoken. He said, either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. When you speak, you're going to fire people up. You're going to unleash the imprisoned splendor, as Elizabeth Browning would say, and ignite the hunger in them. If you could feel a brother up in here, let me see some flames or something to let me know that I'm talking to the right community. I just need to know something. Let me see some flames or some thumbs up or something up in here. And so what I like to do is pause and give an example of what you can do with a story. Ron, select someone that I can interview and share with them what they can do with their story. If they have any doubt that their story has merit, or they want to know how to tell that story and have the versatility and flexibility to speak to any type of audience. I can't get any more response than the ones that come up on the screen. We won't talk we won't do 2 hours. Rod, we just gonna do 1 hour. You only got about 15 people here. But go ahead. Let me go ahead and do this. Yeah, people don't like a lot of time today. This group today. Hey Ron, what's all that noise?
Someone has to mute. We need to mute. Please mute. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Ron, I forgot. People, this generation, they don't like a lot of time, so we don't need 2 hours. And I teach the best speakers make the fewest words go the farthest. What time is it now, Ron? How long have I been talking?
45 minutes. We're in 45 minutes right now.
I've been talking for 45 minutes?
I did the first 15, but you've been doing 30.
Okay.
Right? We lost your video, Les. I don't know if you're still there.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, I can hear you now. So I want to bring Seyran up. And the reason why I want to bring Seyran up is because I think she represents everybody. And she represents what we believe in at SpeakerHUB and what we look for as leaders. So, I have Seyran and Bart are both on the stage, so you can work with both of them as you see fit.
Okay, Seyran, how are you?
I'm doing great just by talking to you. I was great, but I'm very good talking to you. It's like dream come true.
Thank you so much. What do you do?
So I'm an engineer. I've been doing engineering for 35 years, and I have a side business in speaking, writing books, and coaching and mentoring. And I help people, especially midlife women, to discover their hidden gem and hidden talent, the skills that they have inside them. It's been buried for so long. I want them to bring it to the service and share it with the universe to make this world a better place to live.
Hey, Mr. Brown, really quickly. I don't know if you intentionally did it, but your video was turned off.
Okay, no, it just turned itself off, but that's okay. I just need to hear her right now. So,
Okay.
Sarad, who do you see as your primary audience?
A midlife woman. I used to coach. I have a different niche. I used to coach international comers to United States to live their American dream. But now my new niche since last year is midlife women who seek to find their hidden talent and hidden gem.
Okay, now do you have a signature message?
I think my message goes towards the gem that I present in my talking. I said everyone have this gem inside them.
Okay, I'm asking you, do you have a signature message that you're known by? That this is a message that you give that help midlife women begin to know that they have some hidden talents, abilities, and skills that they are not reaching for, that they have not tapped into, and that your speech is designed to help them to see that and to act on what they see. Do you have a signature message that when people think about you, they say, this is what she speaks on?
I would tell them that if I was able to building.
No, you're telling me what you're telling them. I ask you,
Okay.
we know about former President Barack Obama because he gave a speech of the audacity of hope. We know about John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. We know about Shakespeare, to be or not to be, that is the question. So when your message that you bring, that you want women when they hear your name, that they will think about this message that you bring to help them to discover the hidden talents they have in their abilities. So you don't have that. So let's get it. Let me ask you this, please. When you look at your life and look at where you are right now, and you decided to become the part of SpeakerHUB, you decided that you wanted to speak to people, you decided you wanted to leave a legacy, you decided you wanted to leave a life that outlives you. What is the number one quality when people think about you, your friends, and what they see in you, family members and friends? Use a single adjective, an example. What's the number one quality that they see in you that people tell you?
They tell me I'm genuine.
You're genuine. Very good. Give me another question. Give me another quality.
Inspiring and impactful.
Hold a minute. Inspiring. That's good. Give me another one, because that's inspiring and impactful. What else? Give me one more.
I'm very bold.
What do you say?
Bold.
Bold. Excellent. Good. Okay, now, who's the most influential person in your life? When you think about it, that this person you admired, that you love them and you want to be like them, who's that person? Hello, are you there?
Yes, my parents.
Who is it?
My parents, my mom and dad.
Your parents. Got it. So give me one. Tell me about your mother. What's a quality that, if you wrote a book about the impact your mother and father has had on you, and you had a title that anybody who saw the title would want to get it because they could learn from it, what would the title of this book be? This book about these two people who've influenced you, and because of their love and their parenting skills, they've developed you into being the person that you are now. What would that title be?
Your midlife is not a midlife crisis, it's midlife crisis.
Okay, now, first of all, your message is not just for midlife women. Your message is for the world. There are people that you have that will listen to you, that you have things that will that anybody listening would can identify with it. Okay. Now, so I want you to write this down. Turn your crises into an opportunity. And the subtitle, How to Discover Your Hidden Talents. How do you pronounce your first name again, please, for me?
Say Ron. Say my name and run. Say Ron. Yeah.
Say Ron. Okay, say Ron. Hi, my name is Say Ron. And do I have your permission to do something with your story, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Hi, my name is Say Ron. I want you to think about your goals and dreams, and particularly now that we're going through creative destruction. This is the era, what the late Peter Drucker calls the era of the three C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. It's a different place. Peter Drucker said that we must be willing to unlearn, learn, and relearn. This is a different place. And this calls for us using all of our talents, abilities, and skills. It said that most people die at age 21 and don't get buried until they're 61. That they don't get buried until they're 65, that they go through life now discovering the talents, abilities, and skills that they have. And I want to talk to you about how to begin to turn crises into opportunities, how to live full and to die empty. And what does it take to make it today in this space where we are? Number one, write this down. You got to be genuine. There's so much fake news out here. There are people who put on Academy Award performances to convince you for them to be someone that they're not. And people that I work with, people who hire me to come in and to train them or to help them to tap into the unlimited greatness that they have within them, they're listening to find out, am I the real deal? They want to know, who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? And can I believe you? Can I trust you? People want to know, are you the real thing? Are you genuine? And I'm saying to you, as you look at your goals and dreams, this is the time that you want to be authentic. This is the time that you want to carry yourself in a way that you have a reputation for delivering on what you say that you're going to deliver on. That this is a time for you to stand in your truth and your knowing and what you represent and what your life is about. And here's something else. You must be inspiring. That this is a time where people are required to do more, do it faster, do it better with no additional compensation. A time where over 50% of corporate people who are working on jobs are unsatisfied and wish they were doing something else. And so now, the people that are going to make it, not only must they be genuine, that people must be able to feel that they can trust them, but they got to be inspiring, to bring the best out of people, to challenge people, to operate out of the thinking of Henry David Thoreau, who said, do not go where the path may lead, go where there's no path and leave the trail. That you are the kind of person that you want to help people to make and live a greater impactful life, to inspire them to pursue their greatness, to better their best, and knowing, as in Lion King, Simba, you're more than that which you have become. And here's something else. You got to be bold. You got to be bold. You've got to be willing to be a risk taker. Viscott said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? See, best known beats best. You got to be bold to be so good at what you do and launch yourself and your business and your skills and your coaching business out there and be so good at what you do that you cannot be ignored. Yeah, this is your time to be genuine, to be inspiring, to be bold and make your mark, to live a life that will outlive you. My name is Sarah, but you don't have to run. All you have to do is stand in your greatness. I see you. You have something special. You got greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Are you there?
It's just amazing. Yeah.
Tell me what you got out of that.
everything. I felt every word you said. It's touched my heart so deeply. I mean, just being with you in this discussion, I know, I mean, I can even, I can stay with you for days and months just to listen to you. But I feel just by your guidance and your inputs about my story, Mr. Les, I feel like I already got my birthday gift and my Christmas gift and my life gifts just being with you on this session. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, but do you see those three value points? I want you to write this down. Here's your first value point. You're
Yes,
asking people to be genuine.
yes, yes, I wrote them down. Yeah,
Yes, because people, they're asking, when you're speaking or you're a coach or you're in business, when you're presenting, people want to, and write this down, they want to identify with you,
yes,
they want to relate to you, and they want to connect with you. You can't correct unless you connect.
yes,
And the other thing is being inspiring,
yes,
challenging people to push themselves, to challenge themselves to better their best, knowing greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world, knowing that you can do far more than you can ever begin to imagine. And it's the time to be bold.
yeah,
You got to stand out today with what you do to make a greater impact, to create a conversation about you. Your gifts will make room for you. Say, Ron, you're a beautiful person. You have a beautiful spirit. And people who interact with you, if I ask them, tell me about her, you know what they'll say? Oh, she's genuine. She's real. She's inspiring. She brings the best out of me, and she's bold. She's going to make a mark with her life. She's going to live a life that will outlive her. And she's got a beautiful smile that even Stevie Wonder can see it. Oh, behave. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
thank you so much. Appreciate. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Hey, Ron. Ron, are you there?
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm sorry. I was on mute. I'm over here like getting all butterfly, man. This is electric. You know, this has been incredible. I don't know if you want to go ahead and touch the camera to turn your camera back on. Um, I I think everyone here really appreciates it if you can, because your intention in your eyes and when you speak to people, it really turns things up a notch. So if you
Well,
can,
it does. And I'm looking at my phone, and for some reason, and I'm here by myself, I train speakers and I speak after that church is out. So I'm here by myself.
so
I'm home alone.
well, I'll tell you how to do it. If you just touch the screen on your phone, you're going to see a little thing with a camera and a circle in it. If you just touch that camera, it
No,
should turn it
I'm
back
doing
on.
it. I'm touching it now, and nothing is coming on.
Okay. All right. Well,
Isn't that something? Yes.
but we're
And
good
I
with your
got
voice. Your voice is enough. We're good. We will ride with this. So thank you for the
okay.
impactful message to say, Ron. The floor is yours. Continue as you would see fit.
All right. Well, let me get another person that I can talk with, and we'll do that, because I know these millennials, their patience is short. So let's do one more.
So we
Yeah.
had Bart. We had Bart up. I don't know if Bart's still here, but I'm going to
Yes.
spotlight Bart again.
Yes.
And the two of you, there it is. He's on the stairway to heaven over there.
All
Yeah.
right. Hey,
Can you hear
Bart,
me? Yes. Can you
I
hear me
can.
okay?
Yes, I can, Bart. Boy,
Wonderful.
there's a great voice up in here. Yeah, you supposed to speak.
Oh, you're amazing. And thank you so much, Ron and Angela, for this opportunity. And I believe things happen for a reason. I was not having a good day today. I was not having a good day. One of my teammates had sent me a note, and every morning she asked, "How am I doing?" And so I started to type in terrible. Yet, however, my phone started to autocorrect, and it gave me the choice of clicking on terrible or autocorrect to terrific. And I chose to hit terrific. And this is why this was meant to happen right now. So I'm so thrilled. My name is Bart Berkey. Even though it says Rain Group, I do some contract work for them. But the name of my company is called Most People Don't. A little quick story about my background, lesson, and the rest of the team. I used
Okay,
to be in the world.
I want you to pump your brakes for just a moment.
Yes.
Bart, you chose when you spoke to make the day a bad day. That's your choice, not because of what happened or what's going on, because
Yes.
every day is a good day. If you don't believe it, Bart, try missing one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
And so,
sir. Yes.
yes, so every day is a good day.
Every
When
day
you
is a good
open,
day.
yes, and when you open your eyes, it's a great day. Everything else is gravy. A lot of people went to sleep last night. They didn't wake up this morning. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
every
Yes.
day we have a chance and we have a choice.
A chance and a choice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Go ahead. Now tell me, what do you speak on? Hello? Bart?
I think we lost him. I think he lost his connection.
Okay, let me wind up on this. Let me say this to everyone that's listening. When you speak, I want you to keep in mind that there are things that you are speaking through. And as Ron said, your facial expression, your eyes, your voice, the feeling and conviction, the power that you deliver the message to ignite the experience, all those things, your body movement, all those things are important. I just finished doing a training this past weekend in LA, and it was about discovering your power voice and how to live from a place of possibilities and how to create a new level of consciousness on the planet. Small groups of people working together, committed to make a difference. And so you're being a part of Speaker Hub. It's a part of a process. The people that are going to make it today are the people who understand your presentation skills are very important. Warren Buffett, when he graduated from Harvard University, the first thing he did was take a communications course. So when you are in a community of people who are going in the direction of where you're going, iron sharpening iron, learning how to connect with audiences, learning how to share your story in a way that people will now begin to see themselves in your story. It's powerful. Having the skills, and you're going to discover this being a part of Speaker Hub, how to create openings in your story so that the audience will become, and write this down, self-persuaded. See, if I say you have something special, you've got greatness in you, you may or may not believe me. But through the story that I share with you, that ignite, there's a saying that you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. However, if you know how to tell a story effectively, you can create a thirst where they want to drink, where they're self-persuaded, where they say to themselves, I got this, I was built for this, where they say to themselves, I'm nowhere as tired, I can move on, I can get myself up and put my life back together again. It's not over until I win, because you're speaking from a place of what you know, a place of knowingness, that this is not something that you believe. You know this because you had lived this. And when you standing before audiences or doing a podcast or on the telephone, I want to share this with you. I spoke at the National Speakers Convention, and I saw a guy, I had not seen him in over 40 years. And I was speaking to someone on the phone who had called me about considering me to speak at their convention. And when I hung up, he said, are you open to coaching? I said, yes. He said, I was over listening to your conversation. I was listening to your conversation. I wasn't being nosy, but I want to say something to you. I said, what is that? He said, your telephone is your microphone. He said, you spoke very casually to this person as you're speaking to me. And he said, I'm not talking about yelling, but that person has to go back to a committee with other people who have suggestions. And you didn't give that person enough energy and inspiration to go back there and fight for you and say, I talked to the one. You did not motivate and inspire that person. You just gave them information on whether or not you would be available, but you did not give them a hint that you are the one. That conversation with that guy increased my sales and closing rate by over 73%. Here's something else. People create habits, and habits create futures. You're a speaker. You have to be consciously conscious of your communication, even when you're not on stage, even when you're not coaching, even when you're not in front of someone. This is not my original voice. But I was willing to do what you're doing now, invest in myself, to be around people who had more than I had. People had knowledge and abilities that I wanted. People who were behind doors that I wanted to get into. You're doing the main thing. Being in this community, SpeakerHUB, it's going to challenge you. It's going to push you. It's going to take you to levels that you can never, ever go by yourself. Man is not supposed to be alone. One goose can fly 75% in formation with other geese can never fly by itself. And I say to you, you have something special. I want you to do this. I want you to go online and look at 2 speeches that I've done that a lot of people talk about. One is called It's Possible. I want you to watch it. And I want you to listen. Don't just watch me. I want you to listen to the audience listening to me and how I tell stories that they buy into. And the other one is called It's Not Over Till You Win. Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. It's not over until you win. That I'm speaking before 80,000 people. And so some of the things that I just shared with you, that you will see me implement them. And as you look at them over and over again, you'll be able to anticipate when I'm going to use humor. You're going to anticipate when I'm going to transition for something that's serious to going into the hard. You'll be able to see it. And for those of you that are serious and perhaps be interested in my one-on-one coaching, I'm only looking for 7 people. I'm 80. I'm thinking about, I looked in the mirror this morning. I said, who does this? I'm 80, but I don't feel like I'm 80. I feel like I'm 35 years old in this 80-year-old body. I feel like I served in the Lord's Supper, but I got some good tips. So email me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. Mention SpeakerHUB that you're interested in my coaching, and I'm going to send you some motivational material that you listen to them. It's going to make an impact in your life. That's lesbrown77@gmail.com. You have something special. You got greatness in you. And if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or cold, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. You got something special. You got a voice. You got a story that the world needs to hear. You were born and built for such a time as this. You have something special. God chose you out of 400 million sperm. You have something special. You're a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master and you're part of the SpeakerHUB. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Yes, I can't be more thankful for you. This has been incredible.
Thank you.
I mean, dude, like, I don't know what to say. I'm always blown away. And the amazing thing is that this is how our conversations go all the time. He's like this in real life. He's really Les Brown, right? I really appreciate it. So I don't know if you want to take the next 10 minutes or so. Bart was able to get back to a stronger connection and he's back on. Did you want to continue where you were going with him?
No, we'll do that next time. This is not our last meeting, but here's what and the reason is that this hotel where I am, the signal is bad,
Okay.
and so I'd rather do it from home where the signal won't drop. That's why I don't want to take a chance of trying to see you on the camera again. I had to move to another area of this room, but this is just the beginning of a new relationship.
So I want to bring Tom up or Alicia. I know that they're in your mastermind program and you've helped them out so much. Tom, would you like to share what Les's mastermind has meant to you and how it's helped you out?
Absolutely.
Hello, Tom. How you? I know you didn't come on here saying Tommy. Send me my
You're hearing
$10.
things. You're
Okay,
hearing
no, I'm
things.
not hearing things. $ Les Brown 77. $10 for every Les Brown.
$10.
Les Brown 77. Yes, I love it. Go ahead,
I'm
Tom. It's my brother from another
mastermind.
mother. Yes.
That I'm the white sheep of his family now. He has dubbed me that, by the way.
Yes.
I am honored and very specially chosen to be a part of his group. His teaching is intense. It's just like this every time we get to meet. We talk about.
Oh yeah, tell them about the experience in LA, what that training was like. Because one thing to be on Zoom, it's something else to be in the room and how people interacted. Tell them about that experience for you.
The training in LA was so impactful for me. What it did for me is it allowed me an opportunity to speak, but the things that he spoke to you about, being able to read the room and feel the room and get that feedback from the audience, it's real. When I spoke, I happened to look to my left, and a young lady on my left, she and I connected eye contact. After I spoke to her, I went over and after I spoke, I went over and I asked her, I said, I felt like we connected during that. What was the connection? She said, I was told that I'd never walk again one time. And so those are real things. What my story has to do and help other people is unknown to me until I tell it. And the other impacts that this training had was we were in person. We were able to make new contacts and start building new relationships with people who are also wanting to be speakers, people who are already speakers and authors, but also we were able to speak with people that have already done it, and they're on a national stage, and they had a lot of good tips and information from their experiences. And we really got to get one-on-one with not just Les, but some of these other professionals that were in the room. And it was, very enlightening. And it really brings your confidence level up. When you have somebody at the level that Les Brown speaks and trains people, because frankly, he doesn't like say any bull stuff. He is just straightforward with you. I mean, you're right, Ron. This is exactly who Les is when you get a chance to sit on his couch next to him and eat popcorn and watch the Dallas Cowboys get beat. He's exactly the same guy. Yeah. And so what this program is doing for me is it's given me courage. It's given me strength and resolve in what my message needs to become. And it's based off of what my real story is. Because
and you know what? And what I want to do, and I just thought about this, Ron, if you open to it, we should do a speaker hub in-person training someplace. And let's like 3 or different places where people geographically, because it's one thing, and you know this, Tom, when you spoke on stage, and I want to talk to Alicia, when I can see you and can help to orchestrate and to bring that power voice out, and we can see how the audience responds. It's different. You can't get that instant response when you're on a Zoom or something like this. Oh,
Yeah.
let me get Alicia. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but Tom, I'm going to
Yes.
be calling you today. We got to connect this afternoon. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Alicia.
Tom, Les wants his $10, bro.
Yes, indeed. Yes. $ Les Brown 77. Send it over now. I'm waiting. Thank you. Where's Alicia? Let me talk to her.
Hi, Les. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are
Wonderful.
you? Yes.
Better than some, better than most, and even better than that.
Oh, you behave, girl. You behave up in here, up in here. What would you like to share?
Yes, I would like to share that being a part of your mastermind has definitely made me a standout speaker, where I've been told I'm a natural at speaking. I've been a trainer and a coach for many years. However, being in the program has helped me with my vocal variety, helping to find that power voice, and really brought an awareness to overall how you can be the top in your field. And when I first heard about Les's program, it was true that the saying was that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. It was no coincidence that I saw an ad and I applied, and I was overjoyed to be accepted in his program as a legendary speaker. But then going into Miami, stepping out on my very first stage on his platform was, you can imagine, it was nerve-wracking, but it was amazing. And then to be able to join the mastermind, to continue this path weekly, the one-on-one sessions, it is really a community that is like no other, where other people are trying to just kind of, push the sales, just like Ron is not doing. It's been so refreshing. Ron, this conference has been one of the best I've ever been on, if you can imagine. So thank you for that. But back to Les, it's just something that he's so giving of his heart, and I recommend it to anyone if you have the time to invest. If you combine Ron's program with Les's mastermind, you're going to be well on your way.
Thank you so much. And Ron, I want to say, when I started out, man, there was nothing like SpeakerHUB. There's nothing. Even right now, you're it. Hello, are you there?
Yep, I'm still here. I'm listening.
Yeah. And so you're a bridge to helping people not just tell their story, but to be able to develop the skill set to transform an audience individually and collectively, so that the people under their spell of their voice, when they leave, they'll feel better about themselves, and they'll be committed to living a heart-driven life to make a greater impact with what they're doing, with their skills, with their knowledge, with their wisdom and their experiences. So, man, you are a blessing to so many speakers that now, without this technology, without your knowledge and your creativeness, that they would have never been heard. I remember I heard a quote from a guy who used to own a nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. And a guy, he was always very drunk, and I had a conversation with him, as my partner said, don't judge this guy because he's drunk all the time. He's gone through some stuff. And when he told me his story, that his wife committed suicide and he was never the same again. And he told me his background and all the things that he used to do. And he said something to me that I only met one person that ever knew this quote, and that was Maya Angelou when I spent the day with her. And he said, many a flower, please write this down, many a flower has bloomed unceasingly and wasted sweetness upon the cold desert air. That many a talented and gifted persons have gone unnoticed, and the world never had a chance to be exposed to their genius, to be exposed to their gift, to be exposed to who they were while they were here. He said that I broke down and started crying. So I wish that I was able to move that bottle from him, but he wasn't there yet. He wasn't ready yet. But he gave me that gem. It's been over 50 years, and I never forgot that quote. I love quotes. Ron, thank you so much for this opportunity. And for those of you that want to go further, you can email me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. Got something I'm send out to you. And I want to teach you how to speak to serve rather than speak to sell. And Ron, thank you for this opportunity. And I like to do some SpeakerHUB events with you because you need to see me in action. It's one thing on the Zoom or the telephone, but in person, it's a whole other ballgame.
Let's bring them out to Colombia. I think all of them would love to come visit beautiful Medellin, or we could do some events in the States. I would love to have them out. Let's do that maybe first or second quarter of next year. I think that'll be good. If they're on board, we're on board and putting it together. So,
All right.
Thank you so much. If you guys would love, I'm going to share the chat with him. So if you appreciated this session, be sure to put all of your kind notes and thank yous in the chat. I'm going to share that with Les so that he understands your heartfelt appreciation for not only taking the time to do this, but keeping the commitment even when life went a different way and he had to go out of town for a funeral. That wasn't planned, right? But he didn't back out on us. He didn't say, "Oh, this came up, I can't do it." He's a man of his word. He kept his commitment and he decided to come on with this despite what was happening in his personal life. That's how committed he is in making successors based on his success. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for attending the conference. If you have any other, I'll give you 10 minutes or so to put your comments. I want to be sure that I can share those with Les. You want to put your comments and your thank yous. I'm over here like, holy crap, mind blown. No matter how much time I spend with the young man, as I like to say, I'm never like, oh, this is normal. No, it ain't ever normal. It's never a normal conversation. So I appreciate you, Les.
Thank you.
Thank you for
I
everything you've
appreciate
done
you
for
and
us.
what you're doing, and any way that I can be more supportive of you, please let me know.
We're going to do that live event early 2025. So you all know we're going to do it as a small group. We're going to bring you down to Medellin, or say Ron wants us to come to DC or Dallas, where Ange is, or California, maybe Kansas City, where Tom is. We're going to do a live event, though. I promise you. And I would love to have all of you all as a part of it. Any other questions or comments? Les, can you take 5 minutes to answer maybe one or two questions?
Yes, I will.
Right. So put your hands up. We got to go. We got all day. Here's your chance. You get to ask them something, No, y'all shy. What? All right. I'm going to call on somebody. Bart, here's your chance. You get to redeem yourself.
Yeah, no, my computer lost power and I'm horribly embarrassed because this was probably an opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you
It's
to
okay,
Ron.
Bob. It's okay, Bart. It's all right.
Okay,
You're back
yeah.
now. What's a question you'd like to ask?
Well, no, I just the power that you evoke in what you continue to do, how does it make you feel that you're able to make others feel better? How does it make you feel, Les Brown?
I'm glad you asked that question.
Great.
Bart, whenever I speak, even coming on this Zoom, my prayer is always more of thee, less of me. More of thee, less of me.
Mm.
And so I'm open to be a channel for God to speak to speak through. And I'm humble that he's chosen me and he's chosen you and chosen Ron and Alicia and Tom to be a voice for peace and harmony and love and joy.
Mm.
That when we start thinking it's us, and ego gets in, edging God out, we lose it. But when you speak from your heart, where your heart is, there your treasures also. When I speak, when I finish, I say, thank you, Lord, for using me today. And I hope that I taught someone. I spoke at Marysville Prison. I'll never forget one of the most jarring moments of my life as a speaker. And I heard this lady say, give me life, mister. Give me life. Speak life to me, sir. She just got out of solitary confinement. And she was defending herself in the fight, but they put them both in solitary confinement, and they were in there for several months and could only come out for an hour. But she said, give me life, that she wanted me to speak in such a way that it would ignite something in herself. And it was, I know, the best speech I'd ever given. And I wish it was recorded. And I asked the security when they were leading me out, I said, did you see it? Did I reach her? Did I speak to her heart? Did I help her to go beyond these bars in this inhumane place where she is and be able to see a future after this? And he said, I don't know. They've already taken her back to the cell. But that voice, give me life. I hear that voice before I speak. And there are people that when you speak, because of things that they're up against, and they need your voice to give them life, Bart. And that's what you do. I know who you are. I know when I'm in the presence of greatness, and I'm honored.
Let's bring up Michelle. If on your questions, I see Sharita and Coach Kevin Neal. You got to turn on your camera so I can bring you up. I don't want to bring it up with just two pictures talking. So go ahead, Sharita. Go ahead, Michelle Finnick.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. This was such a blessing, an unexpected blessing. And Les, I want you to know that I stem from a long line of educators. So your story regarding your academic experience is always so compelling and always so emotional for me. And what really resonated with me today was that you were able to infuse your presentation with incredible quotes, and I'm extremely, extremely moved by that, because not only did you quote from the Bible, you quoted from people, you quoted from literature. And so I want to know how you've been able to incorporate utilizing just such a vast array of quotes that are so relevant, because it does make for a very heartfelt speech. So that's my question.
Well, thank you so much for asking that question. And Mr. Washington said to me, Les Brown, when your audience knows as much as you know, they no longer need you. And he gave me this quote by Robert Schuller: expand or you are expendable. Expand or you are expendable. He said, study full. I encourage everyone to study continuously. Life is evolving rapidly, and we must be evolved. We must evolve and stay ahead of the curve. And I read when I get up in the morning, I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for, my gratitude list. Then I write down 7 things I'm going to get out of the day. Most people just try to go through the day, have an agenda for my day. If you don't have an agenda for your day, you are part of somebody else's agenda. And then I read 30 to 40 pages every day, even at 80. I do it every day. If you don't use it, you lose it. And so I'm reading a variety of things, so that I remember I spoke for this pharmaceutical company in Fort Lauderdale. And I was about to leave, and I stayed there because I saw these signs called the danger sign. And this is one of the most important things I'm saying right now. And I want all of you to write this down. If you're a business person, you're a speaker, a coach, this is very important. See, what made me stand out in the speaking industry, the majority of speakers were going around giving information from Think and Grow Rich or other information. And here's where we are. If information could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. They don't bring you in for the information. They can Google the information, okay? And so I asked the CEO, I said, why are these signs up called the danger zone? And he said, we're going to teach doctors how to communicate with their patients to create fear so they'll be motivated to take their hypertension medication. Now, I want you to write this down. Never let what you want to say get in the way of what your audience needs to hear. Never let what you want to say get in the way of what your audience needs to hear. So I asked him, do you take medication? Do you have hypertension? He said, yes. I said, well, why do you take your medication? He said, I want to live. So I asked him, why do you have a fear-based campaign to train doctors? He said, that's a good point. He asked me, can you train doctors? I said, absolutely. I got the contract. The doctors were giving information on what happens if the patients don't take their medication. I spoke to the CEO who wrote the check for $640,000 for 1 month, 16 presentations, on what he was looking for after I spoke to him. I send out a needs assessment. Those of you that are listening, I'll send it to you. Email me. Never let what you want to say get in the way of what the audience needs to hear. So what I do is I train you how to take what the person who's bringing you in, who's going to write the check, what they're looking for, and how you integrate that in your presentation with your story. So at the end of the evening, they feel better about themselves. Their people are motivated. You made them look good. They're glad that they wrote the check, and they'll bring you back. 95% of my speaking engagements are repeat business and referral business. Come on, somebody. Well.
No, it's important. That's a big deal. It's about relationships and listening. Speakers need to learn to listen more. You know.
Oh, absolutely. They come in with the mindset that I know it all, and I came in asking questions. What is it that will make this worthwhile? What have you done in the past? Who have you brought in the past? What worked? What did not work? What resonates with the audience? What's the unspoken conversation? What are the things you need me to say that you can't say? Oh, nobody's doing it even today like that. What's the next person who'd like to ask a question?
Let's go ahead with Sharita Odell. She has her camera on now. Let's bring Sharita up.
Hi, such a pleasure to be here. I am reaching out to you all the way from Barbados. And Les, I want to tell you that when this was probably about 15 years ago, your conference in Barbados was one of the first that I ever went to as regards motivational speaking. And I remembered when I was in the audience, you said, if you are looking to make it rich within the first 10 years of business, you may want to leave the room, because I think it was a motivational speaking about business. Yeah. And I clutched my bag. I stood up. I'm like, here I am, coming to learn about how to get rich in a short space of time. And you said that to me. I felt so hurt. And I remember standing up with my bag, and something told me, Sharita, shut up and sit down. And it was by far one of the best speeches in my life. It was highly impactful, and I always remembered it. So I just want to say thank you for that first and foremost. But I want to ask you this: have you ever, because we know you as Les Brown, who is on the ball with speaking, but have you ever gone to an event and in your head flopped terribly. And why is that? And how did you cope with it?
Oh my God. Interesting you should ask that. I went to Hartford Missionary Baptist Church. I was invited by the pastor. His name was Charles Adams, one of the top 10 preachers in the world. He passed last year. And he came to a seminar that I did. It was about 15 people. This is the beginning of my career. And I admired this man so much, I had one of his speeches transcribed that I traveled with and listened to him every day. And he came to my workshop. So he said, listen, I enjoyed your workshop very much. Would you come to service tomorrow morning? And I said, yes, sir. Be honored. And so when I came and I told them my name, they brought me down front on the front row. And when he got up to speak, he said, there's a young man here who he said he's going to be a famous motivational speaker. I went to his seminar. I was very impressed with him. And I want him, Les Brown, he calls himself Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, to come up this morning and do the morning prayer. Now, mind you, I was in a state of shock. The only prayer that I do is now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. They hunched me and said, the pastor's calling you up. I came up, 3,000 people packed in this church. I looked at the congregation, my chest beating, about to jump out of my chest. I bowed my head and I said, thank you so much, Lord, for this morning. And I sat down. The church, they still had their heads down. I was seated, and somebody said, the devil had his tongue. Oh my God. I was so embarrassed, but one of the best things that ever happened to me, I waited for 3 hours to talk to the pastor and apologize. And they said he's doing counseling. But I knew he didn't want to talk to me because I embarrassed him, because he built me up. I went to the parking lot. I sat in my car. I turned the mirror toward me and I looked in it and I beat the dashboard. I said, this will never, ever happen to me again. This will never, ever happen to me again. This will never, ever happen to me again. And after, I don't know how long I was there, security guard, he knocked on the window and said, Mister, we're locking the gate to the parking lot. You've got to leave now. That was the experience. I called after all these years. Now, this is over 50 years ago. I called the church. Levi Stubbs, who used to sing with the Four Tops, his daughter answered the phone. She said, you're Les Brown. I said, yeah. You were married to Gladys Knight? I said, yes. She said, my father had us listen to you all the time. I said, oh, thank you. I said, I'd like to speak to Mr. Adams, please, Dr. Adams. She said, I remember when you were here. You haven't been here since then. And you choked, didn't you? I said, yes. And I finally got the courage to call and apologize. After all these years, I want to get this off my chest. I don't want to take this apology to my grave. And she asked, did you not know? And I said, no, what? He has Alzheimer's. He would not know you. But I was here, and give me permission to accept his apology for you, because you've done some great work since then. Stop beating yourself up. I said, thank you so much. I said, oh my God, I wish I could have told him. Ladies and gentlemen, Aurelia said, stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. This bothers me now. We don't know what the next moment is. Yeah. Your life has value. Live now.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for taking me back there with your bad self.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ron should have messed me up, got me crying and everything. But listen, I want to thank you because I got to jump on a Zoom, but I got to go collect myself. Thank you so much. Would you send me a recording of this? I hope people got value out of it. Ron, are you there?
Sorry about that. I was talking on mute. I apologize. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of the things that you've done for us today. This is amazing. It was more than what I ever could have imagined. Thank you so much, Les. I really appreciate everything you've done. In the chat, you'll find the email address so that if you choose to work with Les, you can find that email in the chat so you can reach out directly to him. Just in case if you didn't get it earlier, that's the email. Yeah, he will change your life just from just being able to listen to him talk about his experience every day is probably worth it. Right? So
thank you.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Les.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thanks, guys. Any other questions or anything else before we head into the next session? I appreciate you all being here, sharing the time with us. And yeah, this has been a great time. So welcome to the new Speaker Hub. This is the future of public speaking. We will push you harder than anybody else. If you don't like to be pushed, leave, go somewhere else. But over here, we're going to make people great. And we're happy to do it. And we want to make you great because, as Les said, somebody needs to hear your message. Right? All right. I'll see you all in the next session. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.